Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Auzu billahi minashaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, fellow Gambians. We, the customary land owners of Sukuta Salagi layout and the victims affected by the recent demolition of the Department of Physical Planning, are here to make a press release to counter the press release the department made 2 days ago. We were invited to the press release, but we were never allowed to speak there. So this is why we deem it necessary to come here and also say our side of the story, since the media, catch up their side of the story. So my name is Chernobyl Cham. I am a native of Sukuta, and here are the customary land owners and the victims, all present here. So going through the press release. Titled, Press Release by the Customary Land Owner Salagi and Victims of the Demolition Exercise. To take you through the history of the said place, the land was inherited from our ancestors. This has been our land since the time of our great-grandparents till now. Since farming has dropped a lot in the Combos, we decided to share the land in the year 1997. Some continued to farm on their plots, while others lent out their plots to other people to farm on. There was a portion remaining, which one day 2 of my brothers by the name Umar Bojang and Usman Bojang came to inform me that there were people working on. When I went back to the said place to meet the people, they told us that Jibi Jallo of Gamgas took them there to work. We asked them to give us Jibi Jallo's number. They told us to get it from the container, which we did and called Ibi Jallo. Upon inquiry, Ibi Jallo told us that he obtained the land from the late chief of Komonot, Eric Tunde Jane. When I called Eric Tunde Jane, and informed him about our conversation with Jibi Jallo, he told me that he was the one who allocated it to Jibi Jallo. But to him, I put it to him that the land he allocated to Jibi Jallo belongs to our family. He said, family, or Jambakunda, the Jambakunda family. We went to report the matter to the late Alkalo Alhaji Ahmad Hawacham, who called Eric Tunde and invited him to discuss the matter. When he was asked, he repeated that the land he allocated to Jibi belongs to Cham Kunda Jamba Kunda. It was at that juncture, the Alkalo's younger brother, Babukar C. Cham, told Eric that the said land belongs to Bojang Kunda family, not the Cham Kunda family. I then asked him where he had the powers to allocate our land to Jibi. The president said he should resolve the matter as soon as possible before he comes back. Then when he said and responded to the vice president that he will need 1 week to resolve this matter. Then the vice president then told him that I will now make it 2 weeks for you. After the meeting, Kebasise mobilized women leaders of APRC, members of the Women's Bureau and Women's Federation, and paid a courtesy call to the vice president, and those ladies pleaded to the then vice president, saying that they were allocated plots at the said place, and if the place is returned to the Bojankunda family, they will lose their allocations. They will lose their allocations. When the director returned the land to the Bojankunda family, allocation was given to the vice president too. After waiting for 2 months without hearing from them, I wrote to the president's office again. And the response I got was that they had now referred my case to the local government and I should not write to them again. And if I have any query, I can contact that office. This letter was signed by Ibrahim Sama Kor on behalf of the Secretary General. One day we received a letter from Keba Sise, the then Director of Physical Planning, requesting us to meet at the said place to map out the land and make boundaries. I then invited my younger siblings, Umar Bojang and Usman Bojang, to accompany me. We sold the whole place to Mr. Bunjajane of lands, and we sold the whole place to Mr. Bunjajane of and the 4 junior officers from planning sent by Keba Sise. By this time, Ismail Sambu was the Minister of Local Government and Land. Early 2010, when Mr. Borikoli, then protocol officer, helped us to have a meeting with the then President Yaya AJJ Jammeh. Jammeh told us that he did not take any land from Salagi. Hence, there are too many complaints about land. He will establish a land commission and we can report our case there. This led to the establishment of the Mahoney Commission in 2010. I testified at the commission about my case, and after the commission, we went with Mahoney and other Kabilos and other Kabilo members to the said land to verify the plan. Mahoney placed the master plan on Lamin Jola Cham's vehicle and showed us areas that were affected and the ones not affected. He pointed out to our boundary with Kebakunda and said the so-called layout starts here, towards Sibek High School. The late Kebamfa Maradabo asked Mahoney if the area from Sibek High School towards Sarapate was affected. He responded and said no. I then asked if the area towards the west was affected. He said no. I asked him if we can get documents for the said land. He said they don't give documents to customary landowners. While we were waiting for the commission's report, we saw many top government officials, their families, friends, even people living in the US developing our lands. We then came to the conclusion that they are now selling our lands under the pretense of allocations. We heard about Junkunkoli's replacement of Ismaila Sammu. We went there again. They promised to call us back another day to visit the lands. We went back to the place to survey again with the representatives from Ministries of Land, Department of Physical Planning, and Department of Lands and Survey. After the second survey with the authorities, we received a letter through the Alcalo, Alhaji Kausucham, sometime in 2014 to attend a meeting with Ministry of Lands. At the meeting, the minister said they are going to allocate 14 compounds to our Kabilo after including our land size of 80 meters by 585 meters by 135 meters by 585 meters again. I then told him that 135 people cannot share 14 compounds. He responded that the compensation was for only lands in the extension, not layout proper. I then asked about the compensation for the layout proper. Minister Junkunkolis said he does not know how the layout proper came about, so he is not in any position to make compensation for that, and he does not want to create any chaos in his ministry. From that meeting, I called all the members of the Kabilo for a meeting. We now concluded at the meeting that our land in the layout proper was not taken by the government, since the minister said he knows nothing about it. So each and every one can go and do whatever you want with your land. We all started to sell some plots and develop other plots. We have tried during the tenure of Akibajo, Lamin Wajwara, to resolve this matter, but to no avail until the government changes in 2016. When Lamin Ndambundiba became the Minister of Lands, my two brothers, Usman Bojang and Umar Bojang, went to meet him and lodged the complaint to him. He said they were accusing his officers. They told him that all that they have said were facts, and if he doubts any of their claims, he can investigate and sue them to court if their claims became falsehood. He did no efforts till he was sacked. After him came Musa Drame, whom we also engaged. He promised to investigate the matter, but did nothing. We also started going to the media houses to expose them. This does not sit well with them, and they reported to the chief and the Alcalo to call us and advise us to stop the allegations. We were invited to the then Minister of Interior's office for a meeting, which was attended by the Minister of Interior. The late Lamin Jamme represented the Department of Lands and Survey. Physical Planning was represented by Kamara, a representative from the Ministry of Lands, Governor West Coast Region, Chief Kombonot, Alcalo of Sukuta, the four Kabilo heads, Mohammed Dabo, Denan, alias Denan, Lamin Dabo from Sukuta Salagi, Mamadou Bojang, Lamin Jata, Lamin Cham, Umar Bojang, and Usman Bojang were the people at the meeting. At the meeting, the Minister of Interior asked them if we were compensated, and they said no. The Minister of Interior then asked the chief to ask us if the allegations we are making are true, and we have evidence to prove it, because he is going to set up a panel to investigate. We said yes. A 6-man panel was set up late 2019, which includes PS Buba Sanyang, Minister of Local Government and Lands, CPI Dudu Sane, Gambia Police Force, Inspector Lamin Jamme, Gambia Police Force, ASP Ablaiso, Gambia Police Force, Inspector Buba Manjang, Gambia Police Force, and Usman Bojang, representing the Kenabaran Kabilo, and was not included in the signatories of the panel's report. Usman took part in this panel, and he was not included in the report to sign. After the panel's investigation, we went to the Ministry of Lands for a copy of the report. They referred us to the police. We went to the police. They told us that their mandate was to investigate and submit the report to the ministry. So they are not in position to give us a copy. Sometime in 2020, physical planning under the leadership of Mahmoud Manjang came with a demolition team guided by paramilitary officers to demolish the compound of Usman Bojang, and even took his borehole machine, pumping machine, and some barbed wire rolls. The women of Salagi came to Usman one day and pleaded for them to give him a portion of land to build market, since they have no market around that Salagi area. He told them to wait until he discussed with his family. Then, after the discussion with the family, they agreed to allocate a place for the women to have a market. One Pamatar Kurubali donated $100,000. Keba Madi Bojang from Jambur donated 2 trips of sand and 2 trips of gravel for the construction of the market. When the construction of the market started, one party Jallo, commissioner of the Gambia Police Force, Fofana, Gambia Police Force, and Sire Jaba, deputy commissioner operations, Gambia Police Force, came to meet my younger brother, Lamin Jata, at the market construction site. They asked him what they were doing at the place. He replied that they were building market for the women of the Salagi community and surrounding villages. The women pleaded that markets are far away from them. That's why they are building one. Pate then took out his phone and called Mahmoud Manjang on loudspeaker and told him that the area the construction is taking place is different from where the building was. Mahmoud then told him all that place was part of the place allocated for a police station. Lamin Jada then asked Pate if there is any police station in the Gambia that has a premises of more than 50 by 50 meters by 50 meters. Pate asked how much was allocated for the police station, and Lamin told him 50 meters by 50 meters. Usman Bojan led the officers to show them the plot allocated for the police station. Usman pointed at a portion of land opposite the proposed market, which was reserved for a public hospital, but later sold to one Boris Jete and Dr. Yankuba Gassama by Buba Sanyan, then PS Ministry of Land, and Kewa Sise, Director of Physical Planning. Pate asked Usman if his allegation was true, and he said yes. Pate asked them to stop the work and report to his office in Banjulundi the following day. He promised to invite physical planning officers to the meeting. Usman told him they will not come. Pate then said if the physical planning officers did not come, the police will not escort them to do any demolition in Salagi again. We formed a delegation for the following day with the elders of the community to his office in Banjulundi, but no representative came from both lands and physical planning. Pate tried to call them, but none of them picked his call. We held the meeting without the government authorities, and Pate said no police officer will ever escort a demolition team to Salagi since they refused to attend the meeting. Few days after the meeting with Pate, we saw 3 trucks of paramilitary officers from Kermode Ali deployed to Salagi. When they arrived, the troop commander asked them to stop at a distance and walk towards us. We exchanged greetings with him, and he asked what we were doing there. Lamin told him that we were constructing a market for the women. He was shocked to hear that, because the information he got was that we were demolishing people's properties, and he did not see that. He then commanded his troop to return. After a few days again, I was called by my younger brother that there was a demolition team at Salagi demolishing the market and other properties. Instructed instructed my younger brothers not to go there because they might be targeted. Usman went there to witness the demolition. He saw them demolish his carpenter workshop and spoil one of his machines, which cost $525,000. We were able to get a copy of the panel report through someone in 2024, and this panel report was given to them in 2020. So we got it 4 years later, which motivates us to fight more for our land, because the report has exposed a lot of misconduct of the government officials. The following are the government officials who acquire land in Salagi, and some even gave plot to their family members, friends, and colleagues. 1. Mahmoudou Manjang, Ministry of Local Government and Lands. 2. Ndemarin Njai, PS1, Ministry of Local Government and Lands. Ibrahima Sisaho, DPS, Ministry of Local Government and Lands. Ibutal, DPS, Ministry of Local Government and Lands. Dauda Fati, Director of Lands and Survey. Ansu Fati, Physical Planning. Musa Abaji, former Director of Physical Planning. The late Lamin Jamme, Senior Officer Lands and Survey, and his wife. Buba Jane, Senior Officer Lands and Survey. Modu Diouf, Senior Officer Lands and Survey. Nuha Toure, former Secretary General. Commissioner Lang Fofana, Gambia Police Force, and his wife. Jawara Demba, Senior Police Officer. Mustafa Yabo, Senior Government Officer. Junkun Koli, former Minister of Local Government and Lands. Fava Sanyang, former Petroleum Minister. Sute Sanyang, Senior Government Official. Musanjai, former Senior Government Official. Buba Sanyang, PS Ministry of Fisheries. And Muhammad Dabo, agent of the Physical Planning Officials, with 9 plots in the Salagi layout. Now my question to fellow Gambians is, I have 3 questions to ask my fellow Gambians. Is it fair to forcefully take the lands of poor citizens and allocate it to rich and well-off people of this country? 2, do we, the poor, have right to own a plot of land? 3, is this the democracy we all voted for? We believe that if we, the poor, are struggling to live and families to survive, all the earn and invest, the government should not come and just destroy our money in a day using their powers that they have the power and they have the military backing to come and destroy our properties. I now leave the rest for you to make the judgment, and thank you all for taking your precious time to read my side of the story. Signed, Alhaji Momodu Moro Bojang, Kenabarin Kabilo head. I would now like to invite head. I read the press release. Now invite him to summarize it in Mandinka. Later, we'll have 2 victims whose compounds were demolished to also come and share their sorrow with the Gambians. Thank you all.
Bunja milisi staff le bunjan min belo ya belo na keno kodolla ntel min tamun na kenoti man si lasoto dimbal be sokon bebe kesan subala kon be damin bi han kama sindula mantara wol bulo kon sokon dula bebe deterin bari nataje ika allocation di Nigeria nolla nka ngaje ika allocation di Chinese olla ngaje ika ko ni allocation di Indian olla kana dula wafu ya so mol bije min ya lonko min biko denani ika allocation di ala aka wafu aka kodo di la ikajo plot wala de nani tata fo akiliye plot kononto ay wala soto salaji mi ya lonko aba manke jandinti aba fa manke jandinta aba fa manke jandinta aba ba manke jandinti abota jine bi sawol afa ba manke jandinti afa fa manke jandinti abota jine bi sawol woy mun sembele soto ani woy mun title le soto nyim bankun kan pour ka bankola ma poti ka salagi na ma poti ka kadunga bulu insistent protol min bije ake wafu ake di nyinila ake kodo dila so nyin tol fara ngaje ko sa nyini ibe min kan ke kan tilimbali albe kerin anden sa nyi nga kuma si nyami ntoli bele fala daki mbele fala pour ngaje ko na keno nyin ay tumbul ande momo nin atan nun ko ibe sirin allocation ko je séparé kabo bila i séparé fu jannim ba fu la ko June 15 and then be fenko ni interior be danila salon ni le ministry le fiscal plan ni le ministry interior bi pour kan tol tanka nin soto fengolu but iman tarje pour ka fiscal plan ma koy kan tol kasara but nkaje ko interior be lorin fiscal plan koma ka banko dingul kasara ini soto fengol anden wo manke to le do ko mimmi le do ko wala kam banko dingul tanka ani soto fengol woto be danna ye bonni fiscal plan tema fiscal plan minni be do ko le banko dingol le ikana fako ibe banko dingul kasara la fiscal plan interest la ñin directeur mi ye be commandi yang ibe ko da so ton na keno kono ikan na keno wafu ika bunja on lon na keno kono ntol min tam na keno han sibiro ni ngame ko man sale tam sani po ntol ma ray so ton ñim bankunka ite banku din te banku din ikan te tabu sin ne kadi dole min na ya wala mto nyaati mba jella nga fa kunu ñaaje ko putata bila ntelbe kaleri dinul ni man sakunda tema male problème wala bari ngaaje ko kata dami sanyi mbe bole ni dinul tema ntolbe fa daki na bank na keno e tumbul nte bole jam bi nte bole jam soma ande momo ni atan ni be lance do ko lebe fiscal plan do ko lebe ministry do ko ne keno so tan keno ko lebe funti la jeel momo lom because itenda kelo tala ya wafu e bunya lon na kelo kono ikase kele sunkutol so kordal leji ikase kote ke badi won so kordal na kelo kono ikase kote ke kamol kumandi america ka allocation no dade Europe Asia Africa karo dolla kamol kumandi hani mol be minni be konko ibadi wol min bije na keno kuntu ikadile ka allocation no dila iben na keno wapula ya ni wapu ya allocation no dila sani ya kiskisi do ke bang kodo jelle dun ta man sarran ke to kono ka bo salaji nin atan non ko to nyaabe tamala woto gambianol alinga korosiro ken no bake mbe mol min tambindila fempula ñin na mu ñaaton ko ka ñanta o caractère le sotola ina makamo dial hada badu ñanta daji ko sotola ani londo bar momi mal londo sota man daji ko soto ni diala abe tiñala woto sa ñin tolbe tula quartier fa 15 on le badu te ñaaton ka beto sotola because mo kurun lebe ofsol kono min yalon ke man pare ka boje ni tebul itolbe bolaje ye min karandi min yante tol kobala e ka wolle teje because mo le bije min ne alu baji sinyo min ne ma alu baji keje because buba sanya na kuriya anata alu baji sambana pour abe kobala nyin sala janyami mota keri min be mota nyim bankun kam min se kobano mota yin bankunka ndum man pare folo nyim commencement la ñim commence malati ntolim ba jelle ko bawo ntol ngaje ko ntol marra soto ñim bankun kan o ta man jaran ntol nga balu ñim bankun kan mbele fal jan dak yetan sare barinte bola jang ande ma barako je mola so mbe mobe kontonna mbal jayla mbal tentulo mbal jayla bak ala baraka
nga alhaji Mamadou Moro la kumo moy sa no baraje sa minala ka ate fana na dula ya boy
nto mu kadi chamlet yena broda la dula boy cham kunda Sukuta Salagi liba Salagi fole ka Sukuta bondije way ka Sukuta bondije Salagi ba Sukuta la kono mota Salagi londino la fon without Sukuta Salagi aba Sukuta la ko so liba Salagi fole ya fo Sukuta Salagi ikana Salagi londa fon Salagi ma lodula sota fon nyim banko kanja yalla fenso lo boy without no reason ndelo broda mu masongoleti aka fefe na ya fefe aka dula lo wala nyam na fifa ko do mi sota ka divide into 3 ay do ka bama la jara rokunto ay do ka la dimbala balwoto ay do ay dula lo wala ite nata na wolo ko mi balafa fondinke mi say ko fondinkel kata bagwe say fondinkel manta bagwe fondinkel mini fana nyini jay ya lo pour ni le dimbale suturo ko masakunda ko fana takela because liga fa ko physical plan masakunda la koto koto mansale physical plan a tele sembo di pour nyen tiñaro ke moli ka fuwarol kumbondi ka fuwarol niyo torandi nyim banko kan mini ka boy mol kandele sa ila bankol le mandele sa tele mande ya kuma dingo wobi kala fa yala mini ya diate wala kasiya ntol man la fi any compensation momo ba dami lafite ne dulal min tinya ye wojo ntol lafita woda malel ka fa be compenser la be ko man la fi any compensation mba dami to e momo la dinkira min tinya ya jol lafita wala mba dami to niyo wol laji labina libina la kotenke be mbela fala bar moma ta pousse la any place a jarta nyoko bi a jarte ti nyaro min a jarta tol fana ni lalewol li baluta sayale li fate ba fata sayale sayam kilinda malet mone na man ta any fure ben siloka mone na man fure la sambalaro moy dulato nimbe ba fala nyi Salagi la jang ika kela ke wat bar nyi do nyi wobo wulele bulo konol ko kan wulang ike symbole soto ntol de man symbole soto mari man satalla wala mun tol symbole ntol ngando ko duno ci ka ngadi mari man satalla ba kelo kelento fona tara mambandi nyi sunkar kono bu karbu ñaari mbalo kon ñul fo misil mon la minti fo mi kafiro leti mi mirete boto sunkaro ko ne ke boto junubo la kafarkan ite ke boto junubo la kafarka inate ñum misilimo iñate ñum fuaro iñate ñum harama dingo ta ka niyo kumbondi ka niyo torandi ñi sunkar ba kon physique ndaba min fola man sakundaye physical plan ye be fita foy be sene a 7 moti je min sene ate be la nota ituli nyaman dulaje fonto la ñuy Sukuta Salagi i nyaman dulaje fonto la ñuy Sukuta Salagi moy fensoke sa lan mo doku lal bijan physical plan lo doku lal bijan ite o mari jay fensoke imma fen fay ay bungola foundation o si i nyaaje men fen fay ay bungolo faya bang ite ba ñin sate ko ne nyaabal iman fen fay fana la dimbali sawunje tilibula ba yena yi ko woyo bondi wodla o masala tamu jeti fu man sawodu wo man dulaje na man ke Sukuta da malet man saman dulaje na man ke Sukuta dulale ni man saba compensation o kele min ya lon ko they are all working in government I will compensate ye bondi na Salagi kono ye bondi na Sukuta Salagi kono ye wala compensate tas bu lele wululal boto sa telmi to ta bu lo wodo ba ni man sama wol compenser ka fako ba dol compenser de man ta any compensation tala mo bulo ko niyo ngala niyo ngola la na nyin dulanto saya wala ban bola nyin lan andu nin tol fatan di wol fana ba ke lo talal nin kelo ne nata banne daman tem tamu minti madin nga niyo da mala laji.
We'll give the mic to another victim to also express her heartfelt desire in the Wolof language.
di ñuy ñu fi nekk yépp di wax ak Gambians li ñu def fii miti na torop foo ko weesu rama na fa man Mariama Bojang laa tudda man doomi Sukuta laa man amee single parent 7 doom laa amee ñu si mag yëpp sut nañ ma sax suma mag mu yërëm ma right now lu ma waxee yow nii maa suma njaboot bi yëpp suma 7 kids yi si suma mag lañ nekka kooku amul doole mu téye ma man tamit ak suma njaboot bi mu yërëm ma man aw ma xaalis bu ma jëndee kër aw ma xaalis bu ma sampee maa ngi jaay ice maa ngi jaay lu nekka damaa gis ku amee bagaasam ma jël ko ma jaay ma jël suma profit maa ngi dajale damaa xañ suma doom yi mbubi julli xañ leen lekka bu baax di ko dajale lu ma dajale ma indi ko fii nii su ma dajale ma ñëw jox suma mag bi ñu def 4 years at bii la muy nekk 5 years maa ngi sampa man dama am building permit léegi ñoom ñu ne su fekkee ne fii reserve la ku am building permit am sketch plan mu ñëw di gas foundation di sampa 4 years di koti loo dajale nga xañ ko sanjo boobu nga daw si fii nga ñëfin ko si single mother aw ma benn dimbal man aw ma yaay aw ma papa man dama teel a ñàkk yaay teel a ñàkk maa ngi sëy 17 years boo amee 17 years laa sëy dama struggle suma life yëpp léegi kooku di dajale di ut pour njabootam yi ma ne suma xale yi ne man suma jeexalee fii nii su ma deeyee sax dinaa taali parce que dinaa xam ne suma njabooti am nañ fuñ dugga waa léegi man ma sampa bee ñëw dara deselu ma lu du ko jet pour ma ñëw dugga ak suma njaboot bi dama tëdda 2 days maa ngi tëdda feebar xaw ma lu ma metti suma doom yi ku nekk jox na ma painkiller su ma ne suma boppa bi ma ne suma yaram bi mu jéegi suma doom mag bi mu ne ma moom yi doo dem lopitaan ma ne ko dina bàyyi bee suma doom yi mag bi kool ma ami seeka mu kool ma mu ne ma ne daaneel nañ sa néeg bi mu ne ma ne foo nekka ma ne ko si kër bi ma ne ko ami ñu waatin ko no bee man kende yaa mu ne ma ñinem gis nga mu ne ma ñine botee bala ñinem mu ne ma yeela bu ngoo bee boyle lu jógee si man yenn del si man dama tiit be fu instanti gisul ma because of dafa mel ni dama lii man su ma amoon high blood bés boobu dama doon daanu ma ñëw ak suma ñaari doom yi góor yi bi ñëwee ba gis xaamee ma sax suma place because of niñ ko defi nii ba si suuf xaamee ma sax ñu ne ma jannim maa bu maa ñibbi ak suma doom yi dañ dox because bés boobu noonu dala si ameewu ma ko suma loxo bi dañ dox ba Sukuta waati dañ jooy ba eega maa suma doom yi góor yi ndik lan métit ak discourage man dañ ma discourage loo dama lose hope bu ma gisee lii léegi man at yu ma doon lifin yëpp di struggle yëpp pour toog asuma njaboot bi ñu jël yëpp daane ko si suuf léegi man ne naka lañ yaakaare man pour ma amati xaalis nag kañ laay sampaati loolu noonu kenn moomu saba kenn man ëllëg sax mun naa dee waa léegi kañ laay sampaati loolu ba suma njaboot war a dem toppaat foofu noonu métti na si xool torop fan yii yëpp su ma waxee dama dee nelaw dama xool ba boo set dama jiliñ jale ba boo set du ma nelaw because of métti bu ma am su ma xale yi yëpp ñëpp a seeda because of dañ discourage suñ waxee rek suñ kër bi su paree ñun tam ñu firi léegi kër bi daaneel nañ ko fan la ñu jëlatee xaalis li ma koti yëpp nii man dama dee jaay as every day maa ngi si naaj bi ku ma ji dama ne ikataale ko tege nkaay ko nkataale yëpp maa ngi struggle pour suma doom yi tapalewu ma njaaloo ma maa ngi struggle yëpp pour suma doom yi rek ma jànga suma doom suma ñaari yëpp jeexal nañ school yëpp si lu ma koti la ñaanuma kenn waa léegi kooku noonu ngeen ñoo ne ko ne doo fi toog yow naka baadoola bu mel ni man nga jël suma aleel daaneel ko with no reason because waxuñu benn reason boo xam ne war nañu daaneel suñu aleel waa léegi ñoom lan lañ foog ne ñun loolu lañ war a def ñun man fan lañ naka lañ ne man dañ ma rey te suuluñ ma dama nekk di dox nii rek waaye naka tulaati xaw ma naka laa nekk di def honestly maa ngi ñaan nag Gambian si ñun ñëpp ñu taxawlu ñun ñëpp doomi Gambia lañ te ñun baadoole yi amuñ doole ne ñu dimbale ñu taxawal ñu xeex bi parce que ñun mënuñ koo xeex ñun kenn parce que sona neñ
ale fana yafo birin ya jana fana diamu da birin ngi nyidin ka ko alla mol men ya lon ko building pamitol bebu e to lewo dila andi to lefana ya dina ko nyin mu public space wala birin wo kala bigo même fo jana wala nyidi ko nin kaydo momo bulu isida ida ye report physical plan fo alle report o fana ke jela fa na report ako be nyaade ani ali afu ko physical plan na molbe jan men ya lon ko yalla kenol ta ye wafi ani fanan dolbe je ya dila sunkola dole ya di bali on bela fla ale nyul tol fo nyaali e lon jumale ya dia la sunkola a dia la sunko jumala ale mellon jumala dia bali on a dia bali jumala ale mellon ani jumale mi la molbe men ya lon kala dol to fo janne men ya lon ko ye kenol so
Mtala Moli Cham, living in Sukuta Salagi, yeah. But ila question on some min fonoje, mpana min lonje, wala nyutiko. Nyune min be name jang, ibe basirin Salagi neto. Bao in maybe in journalism ethics, maybe ital allow la plurality la corral view. If not, ni natara woti jen start be la compound from one by one, ali la corral video, ali atandi Gambia bela what we are saying. Is something true and it's fact. But I don't think maybe it'll allow. But in some info on that side, all in the go, never live in Salah Janet. Moya la sutote, ala wulote, ite ko mansakunda le outlaw, minfo ala sutote, a mansi lasot. Ite not a sita water. Womu justice letter. That's one side. Okay, the second party come permit to minfo e ka vengo minfo tenko ye notice o dile. Notice o ya di 25th le. Iko on the first e mina boy roller. On the 28th inata boy roller. Just 3 days or 2 days interval inata boy roke early in the morning imam more inform and some people are living in their own compound. Is for hanbom hanbadi yalti ba. Nte so wol for no maybe mo lo so kuma do ko ñaar. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, mfaramu victim oldi because ndol mo affected people leti jang because korda ñu ko non dara yalla mu jande nsami fono nak about ni notice ko ñindo fadera mi ñini ngaten okay notice ko ñi moto londi la no 100% kandu ñu la notice o ka di ñami notice o kanale sometimes because modol bi land sol ya bille e ma complete land sol katara jane mi yalon ko mol mantra locate rinje so ni nata pour que notice o saf e kanale notice o ni kaytol maybe e ke troll I think because moti jam mimba confirm la kafo etole all notice o mi fo mi saf mimba fo la ko ya receive le notice o mi receive ta jam wolen last month because ndenata holidays la mbenta feja last month on the 25th wole notice o ni saf jam o man fa tara ja tara ni namuso findira dinnengol wolle tara so kono jam after wolle nyininga idunda so kono yanto nyininga yanto safe if I want to say notice kaito bala after signature keje ya dina dimbal nata after ngaje ya keje on the first yenata ka demolition oge suddenly on the 28th inare boyro start waron tata kan dimbal tan karamo dinol so nata after pour ka dunjang dinol ma so ngad dinol dung after dinol be kumbola ya be disturbing paral ning kidol be loring so wo yin jahal ngamira Gambia fon la ntol be because be mu banko dingol so when they say demolition there is another proper way ebe minkela mi manke system sivade itina la nyapi mo na la dimbal kan ya tara imang ama lonko ikana fenne kala yena nyapa ke ning kidol ning jorangol kela fensol boy kam la bungol boy so akoy njahalla andu ngaje ko ni be notice ebe mo la dula boy la nyata kela fenne mi alongo isa iba sambala kiti la ko dato ya win ye court ya saf court warrant la afan yalon ko min nyin tonya janyanta fin la janne court se notice o diala no kanyanta jambula la but sa ni de mo soto etana tay notice o diala mi yalon ko fongaje ko na ma authentic ta yena telefa in 3 days later yena yala bungo boy so ni tol koy kan notice ol saf janne tol jang tol ninna mil bebe sirin jang ye mo nyini ke ka fole man notice oje so ebina no nyaadi le mo la bungo boy ya boy ama kala muta andon 3 days notice ya di mo la yala bungo boy andon to manke luwas lalde tol ben fal sun gordale kono luwas la fon e mo nyana notice la 3 days surtout mu yalon ko ala bagasol bala bungo kono fan sun gordala bagasol kala kodda ko ina yayi wala fensol boy right now ya jale la bebe open di nyame suto jantol bi ka hani kasi banda because fentem fonyo fonyo ka dinol disturb jande mo buka dumoro ke no banda mo buka sino banda be ka dum kono do so fenne mi alon ko no I behalf of diaspora because mil bijang half of dol bije wolbe holdo but mbedi am kam behalf of wolle fana because ibe I surprise le because yemin je coming imam believe ko banku dingo fana se finti yete ila nyini nduro ke na pour invest Gambia because ngamin ke ngalo Gambia le ndol malo foren ngalo Gambia le so nga samana jande ngalo ndi jam pour nina dimbale hakil tenku ngosodo adu nyim mansal ndol ngamra wolle nyata ka hakil tenku ngodin tolla so bi ni wol ka kido ci kantol kamadu because of lands land ning hanara masala land ning there is not the way pour kata this is not the way pour kata hanara nata jande mamma sa inform nata ngal bil ko nga developing jang Gambia jang ngake Gambia le make banku dodo so ma sama nyana ka sembo jayen ka wonyama kanana nga kumol familia lon ko amanke gudi mi alon ka sotota you know because fente je ngamin je no tata bebe press conference dale bal mil fota je you know man convince ala because kumol fota je la nyin garol ni jabirol mi anna mol be siring e man son tol nga diam e ko diamo badan natol la you know nim mole min fo e ka dive generally sol ke nyin kamil la fay ka dive le because ngajele ko correct ansal bi kana so we know man convince wala nang tol fana we plan this nga fensa wana mi alon ko fana mba fota dunia e pour ya alon ko ñu la propos press conference min last time man convince fengo fente je mi alon ko convince no mim fota jam mol convince wala because ngal na ko len toñade adu tol nga jele ko tol mantra nyum banko kan kunu investor janneto andu jannen tol yaade tol wuluta janneto adu ngaje ko nimbe fala janneto no jannen tol yaade mbuka move jannen tol yaade mol ni la kayto because imam moñi nin ka fenna imam moñi nin ka kaytila inate demolition oke ndol yaade janti ndol buga move andu bijanne forever wala na kumoti no
thank you Kebasi is director of fiscal plan. Abadi will begin the mini along I corda di bela. Nanka, many at neighbor corda lanin. I could do more abadi will let it. Nin Janel min began. Kebasi is a badi will look. I base of corda. Marena cabitan will look. I base of corda and the Keno Corda. So, what up? Wele kordallo mol mi yenyim ba fara kata Europe wele damandu min so tije nati alo jan kananya pi wele fion kan katinya because ko land owner solle ya wafu ya wala ne kaw ikera bungli boy wala mtonya bunjajani land san sove ay sunkuto sonya la kordala 44 by 44 akai bunja akai la fanyi akai la fanyi akai ha yage wa bojan kunda welle tam nyinti muso na tan kan bandunun ko ma ko nyeko wa bojan kunda ñun amuñ place ñun fenk nkai ko hey nkai kana diamu ni nkai nyaati lim bunja fonyin tilimbale ala nyanta continuer banko kan ite banko din te banko din kan na fe tambul ka di wala minna ya ite bwe ya wulo ko jana yena jang ikan na fe tambul ikawa war mtonya nko mbeli mfolale wala mintin to libe faala janne dakin bikata dula bikata hajjani wala min tilimonin tonya banko kan balon nin democracy be banko kan balon na is the human right le ndolle right mo minati nyim banko nga nko kana nyone nenno tilimbali asembo wartala akanyantale ala foi bala seloka dan tungala kan ni baaje yiro santo ta mandia ya solo la solendije odongo alinga balafan nu nyoy alinga to nyaata mandin bar mol mi yalon ko be nyaate man daji ko soto mal londo soto wolbe tiñaro do nakela bena ko mo sen kanna nyaaton kayamu daji ko lati momin man daji ko soto nyaatam bindi nyaato man sakunda ken don te wo soto la man sale man sami martan tollan nin soto fongal ale fanyan ta tarala derin na le banko dingul be kasara man sanyan ta tarala derin na le banko dingul be kasara ka ye quartier faya e man quartier faya tele mara woto ala fo man say diamu na man diama be kujele nyim bankun kan ne man min mira la balu ko mbe notice o dila on the 15th of June momo ni atar nun ka allocation ol be ibulo ko non na keno ko le be balajan ibe balajan ne mbele be fale daki wala momo ni allocation ya di le funti na keno ko kilimbaja sembo wata alaba
assalamu alaikum be lammo na be konto antemu mama de nyabali gambe di wala mun di sukutan ko le mun di wuda wolto na korda be yere na korda so salaji le okay the injustice be caring salaji is not fair to we the Sukutarians because nyimmanke siloti ye wudu banko kan iman nyanto so je ye wudu ta sate men do iman nyanto so do sate kordal membe salaji manta nga su nyamo bulo ko nganna kodole nyini nganna kordal sa nganna kaytol de da ministry le bulo ko ministry de gambele itella do kulal le kataka molla dulal sauver ka kayto ka da ka di molla o ministry kilu from their head amad ba école tofo aning ala crucial membala do kulal ko e kata e ka fo molle ko amad ba le ko ministre ko kanaka jantinya ntemanda moto ngabala de amad ba with the fiscal planning director anila melbe do ko je together with the bad people melbe Sukuta Salagi je wolle kanaka molla dula point ka molla dula tinya bari telephone dula me wati molia segregation man tambinina ka molla dula ta ka tinya dula do bije telephone man ta kataw dula ta ke tinya ke filije. It's not fair. After the press release you may read molia, it is very unfair and very unjust. Ntelbe Muhammad Olti mbe angale kan karane e ka fo moliko these places are reserved for people who are qualified. Are we not human beings? Nyendir man tambi na harmadin kunda dunia. Ika harmadu jibe ka fa ko jando be mabori harmadin le. Harmadin be sirinji o yimo muta harmadin. Harmadia nyanto kamen kuma di dunia yentel doya bake wo dulato. So abu ko tel man ke harmadin. Ela press release nyante la kumul murundi la komale. Iko nyante compensation o kala jele. Imam compensation ke je itel mo kilo le kana dulani mutakata ka wa. To nyaala mi to le Gambia. We are all standing on that. We don't want any compensation from them. Let them pay us on that. And we salaji like issue nyanta stop or not. Maybe no fala Gambia because maybe no long Gambia. We know what order so this will continue. The government has to intervene as soon as possible. Kakoni stop. Oh, no fala banko nyinkande because dunia balori saada mala. Ni membaluta wala mu ifata ngalon ka bandale but ye more push to the last level ko di soto mansonia do ko mansonia ite bulo foye pare yena kela bungo be boy. It's so unjust, so unhumanitarian, so bad. These people are very wicked. I'm sorry but it is very bad. Government nyanten na kuma ko from the IGP to the Inspector General of Police to all the security heads in the Gambia, the interior, the army, because scienting this entail security issues in that country. Inyanta fintele scienting idiamu nga kuonyinta nga resolve. If not, nim problem or not, a tafla ko ma kalamuta. Ibe ya kalamuta la scienting because the whole world is talking about this thing. So the whole security sector in the country should come forward nga finting nga kuonyintiamu nga bang ya mo la tinyaro menge ya mu di mol. If not, nim fa nata na nje ada kela. Nde no fala. Thank you very much. Kenya sota ka fala.
Alhamdulillah ila nyinin karo kuma ba tale ni mun nyinin karo ta min kuma ta Salaji man sakunda ma ta nin silola amanta nin bankola constitution ot man sakunda molan na dulawa min kita eriktum da janati pour ko tariyandi eriktum da janela na dulata wafu ngano ma fonna ta fo commissioner fonna ta fo nga starta ka sabaru ka vice president office then anata Sukuta APRC committee anata invite balamani la isansero bin I invite your director of fiscal plan and minister and lands la director ye invite wo meeting ko itole isu le soto fitino le be salaji asekeno moye faje ateman la fi moye fala sefu banko kam banko kuwala ako sanyi dulani ayati ka adi man la fi fenkela adi man la fi jajula asamba ayatele outot atara ay nadla wafo jibi jallo le ya gam gas ntolle mbe wo jibi jallo le noma pour nadla ni ay boje ako yaya jemme ya dia tele sembo pour kan nadla di jibi jallo nka wo manke to nyaata nka yaya man na dula tambulo ko nasa di le adi jibi jallo la jibi jallo minati banko kan min bati na yaya ben to lekeno tikala badi le pour adi jibi jallo nka amanke to nyaata ndata nga audio nyin pukata ni president sita ako amam mo le kebeta ako barabe land commission lola ya jam akabe land commission lola momo affecta ako biko sala isabi keno min tata ja siyata la tete kenata wasabi kota ya jamele ya ako barabe commission lola e commission lo wala kata mahoni commission ndele report again na suo to ya nyanta min be fo nga be fo commission tata fa banta fo le report of center de presence office ministry dawde ya anyanta talaje ya be ya aputanda be wo ko la mahoni na tan kumandi akonye ko tannu wuro ko damin affecta ni damin man affect bandanga min tande wala minti ko ntol man ko man ko je folo ndata wulo ko wolun kabila so bijan kabila chosan su worowla chosan kabila worowla sabi wala keno affecta sala jan banin su worowlo bele keno la affecto sabi jan asun tan tol so la keno barin kabilo Mariama kunda le arbijan jawral wato sa biri erke nyin dula di cika ya dila ina ten tolle keno da mata su woro la ben tolin le auto tem wolum sara pato ti kata sal kata Mariama kunda kanani lafiya la kana jaban kana fore so balajan ka soron kata wulin kam wolum le auto wolum proposal le auto ni area so biri en ngin dula dila le jandila inata yeko ni le outflow sutiata nyolal biri nya kan dindika ikol salaji extension wala ni sudol dunda kono bari yen tolle keno tika ya dila kanila fo bankola constitution o sembo di mol sefola ay tolle keno tambula ya di man sala pour aya tala banku dimul tema min ya lon ko kabo iya ele yin ngaro ku mata bak
kamude na nal tolla family man
inim mansi inata side bisin naja ntani nyin anin do ma min banta nata biri yenje inim milisa nata ja wolu milisa fula nata ja inata inin ATRC committee nin full delegation le nata min siata moto tamti ke nata dulani na jibe ntol nata biri yenje kana dron idunta moto ko mo kilimman son milisa kilimman son na idea milisa man la fi jaaju lumin tata no mala ofso ko akonye ko moron kay na ma ko ni nata yinkeno la ko la jam ko tagi akonye be sambala maytu nkai wo tete boja nka bar ko tete la nkai wo tete tarla nyim palaso kan sama maytu fan sun keno ka fan sun fenka mi yalon ko almata nin sirol fo aliyata mon la ko dala ko no ba ko te isansero bala ma ne le isansero
compensation
la
family media ko bida wala na keno
junkun koliko wotu mo junkun da ministerial salary compensation for the water min ako atete fenko nya ako proper salary proper kata compensate la because sama lon je so to tanya dile wala mu janti salary extension akabe wala compensate la because atele extension kata sara pate kan junkun ne extension aka jele kalawlo ako bari jang akati jang compensate la because na jang compensate asekeno I fitin o wulinda la department ko ala ministry ko so what mean nata say atafa ngaje ko ay keno so ton na proper kono jan silda fon la de mano kan na mana da be wafu ka wafu business manolia fa sa nya na opposite atele je wafu so yen nyaton kol beje ibe korda so ton na jang ndi be da so te idami wafu inila musolu dolbe sirinjang doli ya so te la musolu ya so te dinguli ya so dol badul be america ko radi allocate yeja na keno tri ko ta be ya be wafule ntol nga damandungul min fefe nga dodi mbar musol la min ya lonko dol bije ikeli bantale dimbal be bulo ko nyim musol min bota diamo la jang nde yama mbar musol mbe fakili dimba babulo ko hallu wasa ama jono yana o bondal ko ra ko woy bun min ko sangi nan sangi lulu abe min do kuka yene ya boy na
masakunda ila panel report because now understand for panel report April 2019 panel report para la famille masalo no for 2024 par ne report nyinde e baje la ko masakunda ko e kenomen di jang wala layout proper atara over 867 compounds if I am right ito masakunda men di malon fo wol kono
ya di jamal
lafta wa yoto le senade fodun bawo masakunda ko ye même report ko 867 compound ito liwole allocate gambenola sa laftalo na falto la famille men affecté feng allocate to mo
han feng Ousmane Jeejat
no jaba chagwa
hani sibiro e madin man compensation no soto ikamin be potending han sibiro ma soto ninga dawda me ko nyam man sala tam jante man sala jamu le outol nga dawda me ko nyam man sa talo mi jante bar man sala fengo to le sembo so la ka wafu ibadi nguliya ye sembo so ka mol so kordala na keno kono ye momo so kordala nyin kenen kono e be bala jade
okay assalamu alaikum mobe ko dem to musman ko jarati okay Mr. Keba sika dem ni ngate salaje proper e manje compensate e ma compensate at all and then ajo salaje proper kono kotake all these reserves can be bele dunia kono e be bol kono do la keno ko man yalla ke ma compensate all these reserves can be for dunia kono be bol reserve o proper kono about kinbarin kabilo what time it again it have dokula mi yalla ke dokula fiscal plan and in lands directors the BSC will kenekino kono kote not extension it let me compensate about extension it like more clean to all kono the BSC in the proper kono right now birim manjanto bang an su fatiñol be do fatiñol be this president de marin jay PS was dina kelo kono den men compensate kata ni watu ñol be cew ani de family di le damin jami as ni same proper kono ay kilo di ala musola extension kono so ñu be fa do ba gambe kono my friend be fa wara batal ndonga dawda ma e ko reserve ida rama e mo na findi akuya allocate jelale ba mi ko fani fe next mi ko ka ko yan fe baki nino songa ka asama police ngata police ba nin da fa kito so ka tani ko ya wafu yale wotan dare ngaji ko sa wotan dare salaji proper among ta silola ya talanta nyote male ka wafu yale through allocation ni alquano kalino salaji proper 3 kota be ya be wafu ala kota yol talanta nyote ni badi ko ni so ina findi kene batu until I do exercise with them salaji ko ni mu salaji be first pattern ni amuri ni salaji ni dunda kodani koda ale ni ka ye kumandile to the panel at Bruce B station e momo ni ka tri ko be ka tani ko ngasanne manje manje tulo banal ay do di a barende wala abande ko manje na ma ko pura sang ale ni ka ndara kero koma kere ba koma jebe from America no about siro be mo ga tres America kono akale alkano le gamme kono bala fa warta fankama ye fora fonta wala di fankama lo be gamme banko ba sabi fam bata bara gambe bulo kono pakel bilen joro wato ya wato fubi ba sa ranta da ndele kero ya bole nu fine be tinyaro min ke jambi wo sembo wara bata gamme kono ay balfasi ay mirosi ni ne ka fitino sambana banku dolto ko ben sabi fonni kelu na alfala kan nyabu alfa kan golle mu to ba sai ni alfa la ban sai fon telefon sai system radio la silan zambi na murun dal ko banku diwol sa lo wonya please
min karanta anin kuma kan lal mi kuma kan dita min lay min fo pre victime oldo anen bire journalist ole nyenen karo ke jabir lale min jabi so wokamala ba molbe nimbara la min yalon ke nata jang anin atol min fanam balla moy kam bal nimbara la bal tentulam bal jayila nadal doron pour kana katandi ala min be kerin salaji bari ale kumo sinkilon wala moy num so kumo sim fulanjango nata ngol fale bi budun sai e ko sondeme tandan kungole ka don so budun ko to gambenol bulo kono ani momo be la moy kan pour ñing kuma fulo min aliye moy sa budun atol sa jibe mimbe bolo kan ni mi mantra bolo kan bare mba jonay sol tentula mbal jeyila atol min nata kan dema kan kama fundine mole ya moy bari kama mol buka moy kama bukata no lato atol nal tol de mol tan kuma kam moy la bari bi dunya be la moy mimbe kerin sai min bi je malon salaji kol commence ta nyami kana vo bi e sando ko mol dam mala moy bari bi e kumo be lon kabrin 1997 kana fo 2024 so mo mol be nimbara la ba fa la ala barka bake alma alay kayro sabatindi na banko kan.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
diwli lanni maaro lanni
fop lanni
awa joni mi anda honno gerɗeten e ngal ɗo sabu e ngal ɗo Ibrahima jonnal taw joni mi anda se yahay kapitiki ñawloɗen ha humpodire e makko est ce que on noon e warude
waɗen noon awa
ane gore Ibrahima ma kon to woni
mo Amérique
ko Amérique a woni kede humpitaki fiɓe musidɓe men baluwo
baluwo
ɓe andanɗa kala ko wawɗa wonde e aduna o si a rewi e juuɗe maɓɓe a jonnay ɗo dépassement o Gambia hara no weeɓi a yahata kadi taw ko mbuɗi ɗi no ƴawi walla no jippi ɓe haalantama ko kala ko falɗa ko sengo ñamete ili nebba maaro basal pomme de terre kala ko rewi ɗon a hendoto hara no weeɓi kadi wona ɗum ɗon tum ɓe jonnira e mobile phone siko ɗum kadi laptop kala ko wayrode ɗi hay kasbawa ɓe wawma jonnude kadi sa fala humpitade ko weeɓi ƴettu Google account ma on joni data ton waɗa download app maɓɓe on ayiyay kala ko humpima e maɓɓe ton ɓe weeɓi yama
ka wonɗa wo e aduna on
kala ko wawɗa
a jonnanayi wonɗo ka leydi men Gambia ɗo dépense
hara no weeɓi hama si ɗum non fof no neeɓi immoɗen joni mi ɗowtama ka place maɓɓe jana
waɗen joni
iya heɓa ko falata
waɗen kisam